often told masturbation is perfectly healthy, and it is. But here's what nobody's telling you. There are 3 silent mistakes most men make that quietly sabotage their erections, drain their energy, and wreck their confidence in the bedroom. Welcome to Prime Health Lab, where we talk about real solutions for men's health without the BS. I'm here to help you understand your body better so you can perform at your best, both in and out of the bedroom. If you're serious about reclaiming your strength, focus, and vitality, hit that subscribe button now. You'll get straightforward advice backed by science and common sense. No fluff. All right, let's dive into these 3 mistakes that could be costing you your sexual performance. The first mistake is the death grip syndrome. Let me start with something most guys don't even realize they're doing. It's called the death grip, and it's exactly what it sounds like. When you masturbate with an overly tight grip, repeatedly over weeks, months, or even years, you're essentially retraining your nervous system to respond only to that level of intense pressure. Think about it logically. Your hand can create a level of tightness and friction that no vagina, mouth, or any other body part can naturally replicate. So what happens? Your body starts requiring that exact sensation to reach climax. Now, when you're with a real partner, the sensations are different. They're softer, wetter, more varied. And suddenly, your brain doesn't recognize it as the stimulus it's been conditioned to expect. You might struggle to maintain your erection, or you might not be able to finish at all. It's not that you're broken. It's that you've accidentally trained yourself to respond only to one very specific type of stimulation. The solution is straightforward, but requires discipline. You need to retrain your sensitivity. Start by loosening your grip significantly during masturbation. Use lubrication to mimic more realistic sensations. Take your time and focus on the full range of sensations, not just chasing the fastest release. Some guys benefit from taking a complete break from masturbation for a few weeks to reset their sensitivity altogether. This is called a reboot, and it works because it allows your nervous system to recalibrate to more natural levels of stimulation. I want you to understand this isn't about shame or guilt. Masturbation itself is natural and healthy. But how you're doing it might be working against you. Think of it like working out with terrible form at the gym. The exercise isn't bad, but if you're doing it wrong, you're going to hurt yourself. Same principle applies here. You're not doing anything morally wrong, you're just using a technique that's counterproductive to your goals. Another thing worth mentioning is the mental side of this. When you've conditioned yourself to a death grip, you've also likely conditioned yourself to very specific mental fantasies or visual stimuli, usually from porn. We'll talk more about porn in the next section, but for now, just recognize that your brain has learned to connect arousal with a very narrow set of circumstances. Real intimacy is messier, slower, less predictable, and your brain needs to relearn how to get excited by that reality. So here's your first action step. Starting today, if you masturbate, do it with a significantly lighter touch. Use lube if you don't already. Slow down. Focus on the sensations throughout your entire body, not just your genitals. And if you're feeling ambitious, consider taking a 2-week break entirely to give your system a full reset. Your future self and your future partners will thank you. The second mistake is porn-induced erectile dysfunction. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: porn. And before you get defensive, I'm not here to judge you or tell you that watching porn makes you a bad person. What I am here to tell you is that the way most men consume porn today is fundamentally different from anything our brains evolved to handle, and it's causing real, measurable problems with sexual performance. Here's what's happening on a neurological level. Every time you watch porn and masturbate to orgasm, your brain releases a flood of dopamine. Dopamine is your brain's reward chemical. It's the same neurochemical involved in eating delicious food, winning a game, or achieving a goal. It makes you feel good and motivates you to repeat the behavior. Now, in moderation, this system works perfectly. But here's the catch. Internet porn offers something no generation of men has ever had access to before: unlimited novelty at the click of a button. Think about what actually happens when you watch porn. You're not watching one video start to finish. You're opening multiple tabs. You're skipping through scenes. You're searching for that perfect clip that hits just right. Each new image, each new video, each new face gives you another little spike of dopamine. It's not just the orgasm that's rewarding your brain anymore. It's the hunt, the search, the endless variety. Your brain is getting overstimulated with dopamine in a way that natural sexual encounters simply cannot match. Over time, this creates a serious problem. Your brain's dopamine receptors start to downregulate. Basically, they become less sensitive because they're being bombarded so frequently. It's like how you need more and more coffee to feel awake if you drink it every single day. Your baseline tolerance goes up. So when you're with a real partner, in a real bedroom, with real intimacy that unfolds slowly and naturally, your brain doesn't get that same dopamine hit it's become accustomed to. The result? You struggle to get aroused. You can't maintain an erection. You might even lose interest entirely during sex. This is called porn-induced erectile dysfunction, and it's becoming increasingly common, especially among younger men. Guys in their 20s and 30s who should be in their sexual prime are showing up with ED symptoms that used to only affect men decades older. The difference? It's not a physical problem with blood flow or testosterone. It's a wiring problem in the brain. There's also the conditioning aspect we touched on earlier. If you've spent years masturbating to very specific scenarios, positions, or body types that you see in porn, your arousal template becomes narrowed. You've trained your brain to respond to those exact cues. When real sex doesn't match that template, when the lighting isn't perfect, when bodies don't look like they do on screen, when things are awkward or funny or slow, your brain doesn't recognize it as sexually arousing. This isn't because real sex is less appealing. It's because your brain has been conditioned to expect something completely different. So what's the solution? The most effective approach is to take an extended break from porn. I'm talking at least 30 days, though many experts recommend 90 days for a full reboot. This gives your dopamine receptors time to resensitize. It allows your brain to recalibrate to normal levels of stimulation. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable at first. You might experience withdrawal symptoms like restlessness, irritability, trouble sleeping, even increased anxiety. These are signs that your brain is actually healing and rebalancing. During this reboot period, some men also abstain from masturbation entirely, while others continue but without any porn or fantasy. The goal is to break the association between arousal and digital stimulation. You want your brain to relearn how to get excited by real physical sensations and real emotional connections. This process isn't quick and it isn't easy, but the results are worth it. Men who successfully reboot report stronger erections, better stamina, more interest in real partners, and significantly reduced performance anxiety. I also want to address something important here. If you're in a relationship and you've been choosing porn over your partner, or if your partner has noticed your struggles with performance, this is affecting more than just your erections. It's impacting intimacy, trust, and emotional connection. Having an honest conversation about what you're going through can actually strengthen your relationship. Most partners are more understanding than you'd expect when you explain that you're working on improving your sexual health for both of you. The third mistake is the frequency trap and energy depletion. Now let's talk about something that might be controversial, but it's backed by both ancient wisdom and modern understanding of male physiology. Frequency. How often you're ejaculating matters more than you think, and ejaculating too frequently can drain your energy, motivation, and even affect your erection quality over time. Let me explain the science first. When you ejaculate, your body doesn't just release semen, you're also releasing a complex cocktail of nutrients, minerals, and hormones. Semen contains zinc, which is crucial for testosterone production and immune function. It contains proteins, enzymes, vitamin C, calcium, magnesium, and other essential minerals. Your body has to work to replenish all of these resources. Think of it like making a withdrawal from your bank account. One withdrawal is fine, but if you're making withdrawals every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, eventually you're running on empty. Here's what happens hormonally. After ejaculation, there's a temporary spike in prolactin, which is the hormone responsible for that feeling of satisfaction and relaxation you get afterward. But prolactin also suppresses dopamine and can lower testosterone temporarily. If you're ejaculating too frequently, you're keeping your prolactin levels chronically elevated, which means your testosterone and dopamine stay suppressed. This leads to low energy, decreased motivation, brain fog, and yes, weaker erections. Your body simply doesn't have enough time to recover between sessions. There's also something called the refractory period, which is the time it takes for a man to be able to achieve another erection after ejaculation. For younger guys, this might be 30 minutes to a few hours. For older men, it could be a full day or longer. But here's what most guys don't realize. Even if you can physically get hard again relatively quickly, your body's resources haven't fully recovered. You might be able to perform, but the quality of that erection, the intensity of the sensation, and your overall energy levels are compromised. Now, I want to introduce you to a concept that's been practiced for thousands of years in various cultures. It's called semen retention, and before you dismiss it as some mystical nonsense, hear me out. The basic principle is simple. By reducing your frequency of ejaculation, you allow your body to conserve and recirculate these vital resources. Many men who practice this report increased energy, better focus, more confidence, stronger erections, and greater sexual stamina. Why? Because their bodies aren't in a constant state of depletion. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. Your body's primary biological drive is to reproduce. When you ejaculate frequently without actually reproducing, your body interprets this as mission accomplished. Your drive decreases. Your motivation drops. You become complacent. But when you retain that sexual energy, your body stays in a state of seeking. Your testosterone remains higher. Your drive, ambition, and assertiveness increase. You become more attractive, more magnetic, more focused on achieving your goals. Here's a practical framework. Try reducing your frequency to 2 or 3 times per week maximum and see how you feel. Pay attention to your energy levels, your mental clarity, your motivation, and the quality of your erections. Most men notice a significant difference within just 2 weeks. Your erections become harder. Your orgasms become more intense. You feel more present and energized throughout the day. Some men take it further and only ejaculate once a week or even less frequently, and they report even more dramatic benefits. There's also the psychological component to consider. When you're constantly seeking that quick dopamine hit from masturbation, you're training yourself to take the easy route to pleasure. Real achievement, real intimacy, real success requires effort, patience, and delayed gratification. By practicing self-control with your sexual energy, you're building discipline that carries over into every other area of your life. You become better at resisting other instant gratifications, whether that's junk food, social media scrolling, or procrastination. Let me also address performance anxiety from this angle. If you're masturbating frequently and then you have an opportunity for real sex, your body might not be ready. Your dopamine is depleted. Your prolactin is elevated. Your zinc and other nutrients are low. You go into the encounter already operating at 60% capacity. And then, when performance issues arise, you blame yourself or assume there's something fundamentally wrong with you. But the reality is, you've simply depleted your resources. It's like trying to run a marathon after already running 5 miles that morning. You're starting from a disadvantaged position. Another benefit of reducing frequency is increased sensitivity. When you're ejaculating constantly, your nerve endings become somewhat desensitized. Everything feels less intense. But when you give yourself more recovery time between sessions, those sensations become sharper, more pleasurable, more satisfying. Sex and masturbation become quality experiences rather than just habitual releases. So here's your third action step. For the next 30 days, limit yourself to ejaculating no more than twice per week. Mark it on your calendar if you need to. Track how you feel on the days between. Notice your energy, your focus, your confidence, and the quality of your erections when you do engage sexually. I'm willing to bet you'll notice a significant improvement. And if you're feeling really ambitious, try going a full week or even 2 weeks and see what happens. Many men report this is when they feel the most dramatic shift in their overall vitality and sexual performance. So there you have it. 3 mistakes that are silently killing your erections. The death grip that desensitizes you, porn that rewires your brain for unrealistic stimulation, and excessive frequency that depletes your vital resources. The good news? All 3 of these are completely within your control to fix. You don't need pills. You don't need expensive treatments. You just need awareness, discipline, and commitment to making better choices starting today. Loosen your grip. Take a break from porn. Reduce your frequency. Give these strategies 30 days and pay attention to how your body responds. I can almost guarantee you'll see improvements not just in your sexual performance, but in your overall energy, focus, and confidence as well. If this video helped you, hit that like button and subscribe to Prime Health Lab for more honest, practical advice on men's health. Drop a comment below and let me know which of these 3 mistakes resonated most with you. And remember, you're not broken. You're not defective. You just needed the right information to make better choices. Now you have it. Go reclaim your power.